Andrew?
Well, Dee, keep in mind, this guy was on probation. Investigators say he left the state without permission, went to Arizona, picked up this 14-year-old girl, helped her remove her ankle monitor, and then brought her back to his place. Went to the address we found for him on the Utah Sex Offender Registry website. The people there are just beside themselves.
What's happening, y'all? White Boy Radio back with another one. Wow. Gonna get right into it. You have this sicko, this weirdo, okay, this buster, okay. Let's put him on the screen. Okay, this weirdo looks like he sniffed at least 9 to 10 bicycle seats in his day, amongst a lot of other things. Can't say on YouTube. Okay, quite frankly, this guy, okay, he already was convicted in 2013 for meeting a 13-year-old girl on TikTok, okay, for sexual exploitation. Convicted. Okay, that wasn't a long time ago. He's on probation, because they always get probation. Okay. Let a hunky like me sell some dope, they'll hide my ass. They'll hide my ass. Probation. Here he is again. He meets the 14-year-old girl, first on TikTok, and then communicates with her on Snapchat. Meets up with her. She's from Arizona. Buys her clothes. Cuts off her ankle bracelet. Apparently, the 14-year-old girl got into some type of trouble. Her parents report her missing. Again, she's from Arizona. This dude's 26, the weirdo. Look at him, straight doofus. Looks like Napoleon Dynamite would whoop his ass. Picks the girl up. Parents report her missing. There's a little gap in the story, but the meat and potatoes of this one is they find the 14-year-old girl in his basement. So currently he's being he's under investigation right now. I don't know what they've hemmed him up, but they're trying to pin kidnapping, which they will win that one. Kidnapping and alleged, I don't know, that word that rhymes with, what's that fruit? Grapes? Grape? Yeah. And, well, to be honest with you, I'm not a lawyer, but I do know how this system goes. So do you guys. You guys see it every day when it comes to these guys. But we're looking at this. If they hit him with the kidnapping charge, don't matter what state you're in. That's in Florida, man. That's a PBL, punishable by life. Okay, they don't even play with that. Kidnapping, they do not play with that. You got a better chance robbing a bank. If they're successful with the kidnapping conviction, that dude will be gassed, done. However, if that, I don't know how some lawyer, okay, gotta love lawyers that will take money and to represent the weirdos, to argue for them, if you will, to say no, it was not TikTok, it's Snapchat, no, I was cut the anklet bracelet off, it fell off when they went to the dinner the other day. They literally represent them. Man, the kidnapping, if it sticks, which who knows? That's a good thing for us. He'll be out of gas, but I don't know if it will or not. Okay. The guy already got a slap on the wrist for doing this same thing. I don't know if there was a basement and captive things happening involved, but he did the same plan, the same agenda to a girl younger than 14 years old. Is barely 14 years old in the United States school system, is end of 8th grade, beginning of ninth grade. A young freshman. Okay. Last time he did it to a 7th to 8th grader. Okay. I'll explain it like that. You know, if this kidnapping charge sticks, he's out of gas for sure. If the kidnapping charge gets dropped to a lesser, I don't know why these guys get a slap on the wrist. I don't know why. You don't know why. It's really weird, man. It's really weird. It's really weird. And it happens in every other state, It's the only, literally the only charge that where I live and you live, these people get a slap on the wrist, no matter what type of skin color they have, no matter what type of pronoun they try to use, no matter what political belief they have, these people get a slap on the wrist where I live and where you live, okay? Which is 2 different places probably, However, other places may, depending on who's running your state or who made the laws there, if me and you do a crime together, I may get more time than you, and you may get less time than me, vice versa. Okay, but we wouldn't get a slap on the wrist. Why is it like this? This is old news. We all know it. What I like to do, man, is somebody like this is a habitual offender, man, and these people, man, this is getting sick, man. It happens so frequently, man, and it's almost like with what we see. With what we see everywhere, social media has a big part of it. It's just like there's almost it's like a movement to make this acceptable. It's very strange to me, man. Very strange to me. I just can't get behind that. There's a group of people, MAPS, minor attracted people, whatever it stands for. It's just very strange to me, man. I'm a person who came up, and I'm not old, but I'm not a spring chicken either. But I remember back in my day, we walked 5 miles through the snow. I remember, man, people that were gay, okay, it was a challenge for them to get married in the closet, was the saying back in the day. There was that whole thing. And then, things changed, and whatever, people are gay. It is what it is. And then, that happened. And then you had this, people were just gay back in the day. Now they have all these letters, LGBT. It gets confusing. They really should shorten it up. But, because if you mess, it's like LGBT, if you mess one of them up, then you're not doing the pronoun. But then there's this movement, which is confusing because, it's confusing because if now we're talking like trans people stuff and like that, and people wanting to do, then there's people in both genders in one sport. There's a man that has got a vagina now, and he's playing the women's sports. It's out of control. If you know anything about MMA, UFC, there is a transgender man that's fractured a woman's skull, broke orbital bones. One of the worst MMA, not UFC. I apologize for that. Dana White would never go for that. But MMA, mixed martial arts, the sport, fractured a few women's skulls. There's something going on with swimming where there's a transitioned man. He's just demolishing these women in women's sports. Okay, my point is, I'm old enough to see like the gay thing happened, and then it's moved and transitioned, and now the trans stuff happened. I'm talking like right now from the gay to the trans. Like, man, that's got to be like 20 years or something like that. It feels to me like it went from the gay thing 20 years to the trans thing, then right away like kids. Like, no. Wait. First of all, no. Second of all, what's next? Third of all, wait, what can we get 20, 100,000 years in between that? It's out of control, people. It's out of control. You know what it is. It's everywhere. We're seeing it more and more often. These stories, slaps on the wrist. So what I'd like to do, man, today is ask my subscribers an old trick of mine that I know will happen. Don't know the young woman's family. Have no idea who she is. Obviously, she's a minor. They'll keep it out of the story. I asked my subscribers in the state of Utah to reach in your pocket, pull out the credit card, pull out the cash, pull out the money order, send it to your loved ones, send it to your friends. I'm not asking for it, but man, look out, man, for them Utah inmates. Look out for them. Because you know what? On a story like this, I can promise you, I don't know what will happen with the kidnapping charge. I don't know what will happen with that fruit, those grape. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Last time, slap on the wrist. We see it all the time. And with a kidnapping charge alone, that dork is not bonding out. Now, inmates all around the United States, nobody likes him. He's not accepted anywhere, not in any dorm, not in any institution, not in any cell block, unit, anything. He's going to have a very difficult time wherever he goes. Every second of every minute of every hour of every day of every month. Straight pressure, straight torture. There was a time I almost felt bad for one of these guys. And I'll tell you a very fast story, but I'm going to need you to use your visual here. Have you ever seen somebody get beat up really bad? Not on a movie or a show. Okay? This is in your life, you witnessed a beatdown where it was either one individual or maybe it was like many individuals. And they were proceeding to kick the multitude of ass, like to the point where you almost had to turn your head. Like the person receiving said ass kicking was almost like defenseless, maybe hit the ground, maybe he was knocked out, and the boots kept hitting his temple, upside his skull, and repeated. The person just didn't stop. They snapped. Maybe it was multiple people. And to the point where you had to turn your head. That happened one time. And it was a pedo. His charge that day, his penalty that day, was guilty of being a chomo. He didn't do anything wrong in the time of getting the ass kicking. He didn't try anybody. He didn't steal anything. He didn't look at anybody weird. He was minding his business, but he was a pedo. So somebody that I used to hang around with a lot inside of a joint, he was a little psychotic, but he was a good dude. His family, his brother, had just died because in years back in Florida, there was a bunch of sinkholes, okay, in the Tampa area, and his brother was on the receiving end of his house sunk in and died, and he was incarcerated. And at the time, I think he had like 8 to 10 years still to serve. And he was the type of person that would be in trouble so much inside of prison that he didn't have enough clean time on his record to make a furlough so he can attend the funeral. He was a good dude. But let me explain this to you. He was a dependable dude, a loyal dude, and he was ready to go at any given time. Never back down. However, he would look like a, you gotta, listen, people, you gotta take what you can get for friends in there. So work with me. Hey, look, he was stressed out. He was stressed out. He proceeded to walk over there. He kicked the lock off the dude. Kicked his lock off. We have lockers, attached to your bed. You slide them out, store stuff, push it back in, put the lock on it. He kicked it off with his work boots. Slid it back, took every possible thing that he wanted. Went back to his bunk, which happened to be right by mine. We pulled a power move and loaded it up. While he was bent down to push it back in, tied his laces up to his boots real good, walked back over there and beat the living dog crap out of his pedo. It was a moment where he snapped. It was a moment where I turned my head. But in this instance, if it wasn't me to go pull him off, I don't know how far he would have took that. Okay? But hey, it was what it was. I got him off him. I talked to him. But when I put him up off him, I looked at the dude's face. And in that instance, I felt bad. Just because of I knew the whole situation. And the dude didn't do anything. But hey, he did a lot to be there. And I call for the people of Utah, man. Reach in your pockets, man. There's a dude like my friend Bush. Shout out to you, bro. That will take care of these people inside of prison. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. It happens every single day. I promise you. And that was one day of that pedo's life inside the jail. Just one day. He had a lot of other days just like that. Sometimes, man, sometimes my experience with prison sucks. Don't get me wrong. But I've been through the system, so I know it. And you could really, really, watch what I say here. You could really mess up somebody's life when you know the system and you're out here and you know how it is in there. You could really, really control their life. That's all I'll say about it. But think about that. It ain't hard to figure out. And man, I urge you, man, Utah, reach in your pockets. Look out for them boys. They're hungry. But what I can promise you, they'll get it done. To be honest with you, it'll get done for free. But always remember, man, you got people incarcerated, look after them. When you see stuff like this on the news, I don't care where you're from. Justice comes well before sometimes the judge gets them. But in this one, man, I hope them Utah boys put it on them. And the judge does too, man. Judge, don't let this one walk. No slaps on the wrist, man. No slaps on the wrist. Hashtag save our children, man. It's White Boy Radio, man. And we'll catch you on the next one. Sickos, man. It's happening too often, people. Slaps on the wrists. It's got to stop. It's getting out of control. Support your local white boy. Share the damn video. Smash the like. If you want to support your local white boy, look in the description box. Get at me, and we'll catch you on the next one.